Hello, everybody. I just want to say good night and sweet dreams. But in relation to the development of your transition, the compliance of the network is that once you cannot even the ordering system of any performance, the network of a tantantang, itatalang, shashong, kolong, is dalakatanta. The message of the composition will actually translate itself into the prakasina. I'm going to be a bit tired in relation to this way because in return, nationally, the understanding of the prakasana and the temperature of the body figure is autopsy, part of in relation to the breast cancer. My body heats up into a particular level, but in relation to that one, I'm not too sure. Malakasang katang kalo dasashan kasha. The development of the technology will be reversing into the interlay technology because the compliance of the network is that once I sweat into a beautiful dance, you will love me for who I am. And in fact, the more you can figure out the solution of a formula, you cannot provision the classes in relation to the texture. Because in relation to the texture, the development of the technology is that the reversity of the intuition of walking through an opened gate in relation to the transition is that autopsy is the makasa alakang sata. Autopsy is based upon your prana and also to and from the balakasin. The composition of a timer is that once we have the transmission in relation to the provision to claim the law is the intuition of your mind as well as your pakasa. And in time, my friends, the network of the Ananu, Ala, Kasi, Kalam, Kachung is the developer. He's one of them in relation to the third technology. Yes. In relation to the body temperature is that depending on the heat station as well as the reverse data in relation to your water chemistry, which is the pH level thar. Throughout thinking of the thoughts, that's how that water level works in your body is a PM bar Dakatan. The vocabulary is very hard for me to help you guys to understand the transmission of the non-particle. Particularly the understanding of the lecture is that once we even out the separator in relation to the plexi is the conversion of the autopsy. I'll be back in a minute. Based upon autopsy, the transmission of a formula is that once we have a male welfare in relation to the third program, the Merkasa is that, for an example, Amsterdam and Ireland, in relation to your fabric, depending what you wear and what is needed in relation to the fabric. So in relation to the sun casks or coating, in relation to casting, is that if there is the level of your body heat in relation to the temperature, the way you design things is a summer or spring in relation to your draft code. So when you test the fabric in relation to and from not income, but the first word is the development of the article. Because when she can work out the heat in relation to the unity of a tank fish and indicating what the body wave will be in relation to the goddess of mercy and compassion being blind. So in that way, with the heat wave, based upon your fabric, making a raincoat is just a solution. So when it rains and you go to work and use an umbrella, right, catching the public transport, But on the public transport, it gets really wet, right? Yes, when you catch a bus, a tram, train, etc. And even in the platform itself. So in that way, when you wear a certain amount of things, fabric, I don't know much about these. Fabric is that when it rains, will the water stay in here? Absorbent? Will the water still stay in here? Where will the water go? Will it drip out? So when the rain drops, will it drip out? And then it's not wet, but it's still flashable. So when you go like this, means it's wet, but it's not wet. It's just suitable by sustainability. When it's suitable by sustained stability, it's not accurate as yet in relation to the body heat, is that whatever you wear in relation to summer, like jockstrap, oh no, jockstrap, that's pretty gay. No, just kidding. I just lost the plot. Sorry. Based upon the fabric, the way you do things is that the wave of the wind and oil of the skin, as well as climate system. No, klima. That's what you call it. Klima. And in the klima, based upon your body heat, is that once you know it's in winter, it gets very cold, right? So you wear coats or whatever you like. Shirt when you go to work, jumper, and then your uniform when you go to work. But if you go to the beach, all you do is wear shorts and a singlet, but you get burnt. And wear thongs, you get burnt. In winter, it depends on your socks as well. But later, it will take a while. But anyway, the condition this way is that based upon the transition of a formula, depending on the alarm, that's how it does it in relation to this fabric. So for example, when I wear this in winter, see, will it stay like this to absorb into your skin, or will it clear dry? Upholstery will clear dry. So in this way, upholstery, see, look, if heavy rain happens with this coat that you're wearing as whatever school uniform or whatever it is, your work uniform, when it goes through here, absorbent into the fabric, it has different layers, and when it goes into your skin, you will feel cold, isn't it? But when you feel cold during the winter, what level of the heat is your body? Tonala, it's called. So when you have a shirt, a tie, a nut jumper, etc., and then another jumper, so that if the water goes through your body, will it cool you down? Because in winter it's really cold. Those clothes keeps you warm. Will it cool you down to absorb your temperature? Your temperature in that way. Now, because I'm heating up, I just had a quick shower just to relax my bodies. So in that way, you can actually have some tests in relation to these kind of things. So when you have some tests in relation to these kind of things, you got to be aware of the heat wave as well as the trans alarm, because in relation to the colony, Robert Jr., in relation to the colony, the ants, where will it survive? By no air. I'll be back in a minute. The transmission of a formula is based upon your consumption of time. And in relation to your consumption of time, once you know the wisdom of truth, it is the pyramid table in relation to your consumption of a timer, and also to and from the Palusha. And in that way, once we know the inking system of the grind, we can also separate into the transformation. Because in relation to the transformation and its transformation, the formula of the period controller will actually be Klantang, which means each clinic will actually be testified in relation to your fabric, to your body heat. And when you have a body heat in relation to the Sema, we have a seasoning in relation to spring and Kong. Have a kanji? No. So in that way, once we will reverse the intuition of our thoughts, is that within our thoughts, is that we need to have the original templar. Do not think about it. So when you originally have the body heat, what did you feel like? You're overheat, so you go and wear jockstrap and go to bed, or be naked. Usually I'm naked in bed. So, but in that way, during the season, in winter, do you wear PJ, pajamas? Pokala. So when you sleep under the sheets and blankets, what is your body heat like? Do you have aircon all day in relation to Omega climate system? And in relation to that one, you have Yilla, which means Anson. Anson. I can't do too much of this, it's just because I'm really low and in soul, without thought, it is a lot. Mala sala shutu tasa nana pisha molok shutu dala shutu tushu lokshu tashina dala lechon kushon moko dala shon kushin tasha. So does that mean, my man, when both have beautiful sex, do we connect the body heat? Understanding the pleasure. When you understood the pleasure of the Tlalam, it is the mirror of your soul to soul, and in soul, the spirit will be within you, and in time, being my husband, you will be now, in Vela. In that way, you will form the right heart to heart. So, tell me a story about why and how you actually got married and have children and raise children. Do. I love Kalazimo in relation to thoughts, and in relation to thoughts, thinking of Leonardo da Vinci and he is here, and in song, when you know how to love, you do not know throughout the wall of fire, and in soul, with true face, you love someone so much, forever, eternity, through the spirit of you, It is not a Purusha, which is the Kansalaka. I know these words are very hard for you. It is the third economy in relation to the vocabulary, but I cannot pronounce it. I'll give you one vocabulary. But in time, the enjoyment of Linaro, it is the Kasana, Mona Lisa. In relation to Mona Lisa, Leonardo da Vinci, the poetry, Escana Koto, Dishano, Malakashon Kulu, Galasha Kushon, Glantam Kushon. Once we know the true love, we will be leaded in relation to the third development, and in so smell me when you can, play me when you know, and when you know, you will be forever, eternally, and in time. The lyrics by Alicia Keys is the correction of beautiful sound in relation to the vocal void box, and in way, once you develop the impacting degree, you also need to know the next television, and in so, by partition, and in each partition, you will know your condition of mythology, and to understand the impakasa, season per sa, per metrics in relation to and from, clothes and undies. Being a man is my man. Who will buy you the beautiful undies to accept your balance of a jockstrap, and to include the decimal of the metrics in relation to season, and in each season you will know your body heat to form and to feel a strong power, and when you do, heart to heart is connected by Miss Pimpala. I cannot tell you these words, but in soul, based upon your amana, you will know what true love is. And when you know what true love is, based upon your metrics, undies per jocks is an inclusion of the boxer shorts, but without knowing your method, you will not know the beautiful ground of being with me eternally, forever and ever. I never forgive you for who you are. Dasa. Be with me. Be with me. Love me. Care for me. Jockstrap. And you will be me. Now, anyway, based upon the body temperature of the A size of the bra, Priscilla, Queen of the Desert, the consumption of the A side of your bra, what size is that? I don't know. You need to understand. That's it for me. Normal clothes is just an indication of intuition, of thought through, and in so, if there is one, you will never leave knowing When will you be with me? Leonardo da Vinci for Mona Lisa. In any way, to love me is you, Monica, Dora, George, Palazzo, Palazzo, Tata, Tosha, Koto, Rashata, Rasha. One day, you will know you develop this sound by being a sperm and so when you be with me without the sleeping pills and we are connected, I will put you to sleep magically. You will have the bash bar. To be with me, Mona Lisa. You will know, and in soul, you will can share. This is a bit ticklish. Psychologically, the understanding of being with me is that physically, autopsy will be marking itself into a car, and in soul, based upon D-love, Jiti Kata Golo, Lachum Chatan, Galakun Shoma, Dus Tasa, Delashon Kushan, Lachon Kushan, Delashon, which is the PMG 332224 and 332248 in relation to indexing complexity of autopsy. Vision 2 and Vision 1, Visuality, Kazakhstan. Vision 3 and Vision 4, Kampala. Vision 6 and Vision 10, Hamonu, Tasa. Temperature 13 degrees. Mala Sinsun, Tushon Kolom, Delashon Shasha, Delushon Kushon, Malakason Fishinal, participate, autopsy, dead bodies. You can make a fake one. Yes, when you make a fake autopsy, you start to know autopsy in relation to Eden, L, St. Joan of Arc as well. Yes, you will know, and when you know, you will love autopsy. 3 of my doctors, sorry, I'm gay. I don't like girls, but I love girls. And in soul, Eden is a girl. They're all girls. But knowing Mona Lisa is not autopsy, it's Fatan. Third vocabulary. And in soul, being with me you will know face out, conjunction of picture and equation, IQ tests. Men, oh men, oh men, if you are the one, automatically that will be the way, the beautiful kiss to you, based upon autopsy. You will never die, and when you do, you will be with my dear done. Function of that, and in so, 3 doctors are implementing autopsy, and in so, when they do, for Desperate Housewife, it is a TV show guide, and to indicate the Pakistan, particularly without insult, and in so, being with me, you will know, and when you know Mona Lisa, you will love me for who I am. You never know, and when so, when you never know, it's called, the look is called a piggy bear. A piggy bear. A piggy bear is $28,900 for autopsy. Sharing implementation of Madam, third vocabulary. It will start. And in so, I do need a lover for Mona Lisa, to Pakistan. And in so, knowing how to love me, you will never know, you will never know, throughout thinking of me, but in so, when you think of me, Mona Lisa, Galicia, and Britain, she's Mona Lisa, she's around, but that's the original name. But in song, once you know your way, you are with me, and in song, when you are with me, Messiah. Forever and ever, you know what that's on. Forever and ever in time, you will be the one and sharing with me. Forever and ever and ever. Forever and ever, you know me so well. Forever and ever in time, you will be with me and Uncle Salah, together forever in time. Mysteriously, has not started in relation to 2.8 and 3.6 percentages of 29,000 versus 23,000 for missing, autopsy, mystery, the confinement of life. And in time, we will know the mystery based upon thriller and non-horror. And in time, to be with me, Aurora Beach, but to indicate, I'm really in love. You be my man, we love this forever and ever. You know me. Without you, come to me, come to me, come to me. Autopsy and soul. This is just a quick estimate in relation to autopsy. But the condition of autopsy is that once we know how to make DNA in relation to the provision for the third economy, is that the condition of methodology is that once we have St. Joan of Arc is an indication of a non-double, and in time once we network Aka Kaseng Kala is a Tata Dudu Duru Chupu Kuchupu 2843 shots in relation to Dibala Datan Tata, which is DM3246 and DM3241, indication Dilla D5 and indication Tata T1 and T4, indication cell 328 and 314. I know, because I'm getting a hard on. So, based upon autopsy, if we share together, me and you, we will be so together. Mona Lisa. The third development of Mona Lisa is that the Methakasa Nalang Kanshan, and in time, once you know what you know, you will need to know Taklasa, participate Nana, hamstring to indicate autopsy, and also body heat, temperature, approximate to 27% only. Then when you make clothes, or you already have clothes, you will know what to advertise in relation to font and to indicate its ignition by that one, which is known what heat is. So when you sell the productivity, you are implementing